On this channel, we give you the insights into what is happening right here in the San Diego real estate market based on a few things, including the data, what we're seeing out there as far as market trends in specific categories, let you know exactly what's happening and where things are moving, and also what we are seeing out there in the field as we are working with buyers and sellers. Give you some insights and some stories into actual things that are happening right now in the San Diego real estate market. Today, we're going to do it a little bit different. We're going to give you some insight from a third party, from a local investor right here in San Diego who does a lot of business. They do a lot of fix and flip properties right here in San Diego. I am part of their newsletter that I get every week. So all the data is going to be their data, and we're going to give you their thoughts on what's happening right here in the San Diego real estate market. We're going to go over 4 market trends that they are keeping track of to give you some insight into what they are seeing. And then also at the end, we're going to go over 3 predictions that they have going forward in the San Diego real estate market. What's going to happen in the next 3 months right here in the San Diego real estate market, what is going to happen in the next 6 months, and what is going to happen in the next 12 months right here in the San Diego real estate market. And so as we go through this, I want to hear from you guys as well. Drop some comments below. Let me know what you guys are seeing or hearing in the San Diego real estate market. It's interesting to hear what everybody else is paying attention to. We are in our real estate bubble here, and this is our job. This is what we do every single day. Keep an eye on the market, keep an eye on trends, keep an eye on what is happening right here. But I also want to hear from you guys. So leave us some comments below. And if you are thinking about buying or selling in the future, that is our specialty. So feel free to reach out. Not feel free, we want you to reach out and start that conversation. All of our contact info is right below. Call, text, email, however you want to get a hold of us. We would love to start that conversation to see if we can earn your business for buying or selling a home right here in San Diego. But let's get into it. The first data set we're looking at is going to be expired listings. And this is something we haven't brought up on the channel yet. You see this is from the Real Report. That is the email I get every single week. But this is going to give you some insight into homes that have come on the market. They have sat for a while. The sellers have not necessarily gotten their prices, and then they have expired, meaning the listing, the contract between the listing agent and the seller has expired. This time frame can be negotiated between the seller and the listing agent, so it can vary widely. But a lot of times you will see these expire anywhere between 30, 60, 90 days, but sometimes all the way out to 6 months. It's really whatever was negotiated between the seller and the buyer. But nonetheless, a lot of these homes have hit the market, they have not sold, and this is the trend line here going back to January of 2024. And it has been on an upwards trend as we go through the year. Back in 2023, you can see not too many expireds, but their trend line is going up. Now, a good portion of these homes are likely going to come back on the market in the new year. And so assume that we're going to see more listings come back on in the new year, including the withdrawn ones that we've mentioned in a few past videos, where last year in September, there was 3,000 listings expired or withdrawn rather. This year there was 7,000. So people took them off the market, potentially for holidays, potentially for other reasons. Assume those will likely come back on. And he also notes that these expired listings represent sellers who still want to sell, but they couldn't get their price. In other words, even though active inventory is dropping, so compared to the previous week, there was about 5,200 homes. Now active inventory is about 5,100 homes on the market, so less active listings. Shadow inventory is growing. People who do want to sell but are not currently on the market. Next up is the median price track weekly. You can tell we peaked up here May of 2024, 926,500. And currently we are sitting at 875,000. Now in a lot of years, this is going to be typical where we're going to see peak prices in that June timeframe when you do have the most activity in the market, you do have the most buyers in the market, and they are competing for all the properties on the market, pushing this price a little bit up. As we go into the latter part of the year, you will typically see this number drop a little bit here in San Diego. Now, this next metric is something we haven't shown on here before. It's showings per listings. And this is all driven through Showing Time, which is a platform, a mobile platform where agents can book a showing through there. It tracks it all in the system. So you can see who's coming into the home. You can see what time, you can see what times are available. And how this app works, you bring it up on your phone. You can see what times are available for showings. It has communication between the seller and the agent and the buyers and the buyer's agent. So everybody is on the same page. But during 2021 and 2022, when we were setting up showings for buyers, a lot of the slots were filled up. You could see, it won't tell you who's in that slot. You could just say taken, busy, whatever it was. And there wasn't many showings because all of the showings were booked out. Now, when we're looking at it, it's definitely a lot less on there. You're seeing much more slots available. You're seeing more times available. You're seeing less other showings on the app. And we're seeing it for our own listings as well. We have showing times scheduled for our clients, and we're seeing less showings in there as well. That's what this chart is reflecting here too. Now, not all showings are going through Showing Time, so it's not necessarily every home is getting this many showings. Sometimes they're getting a lot more. A lot of times agents might just text us and be like, hey, can we show at this time? Even though we're trying to use Showing Time, they might just text us, okay, yeah, go for it, and things like that. So not all the showings, but taking into account the numbers and the trends and what we're seeing, you can see back 2021, we were peaked up here. In 2022, you can see once again, closer to that 12 showings, huge drop off. This is when we saw interest rates start to go up in 2022 into 2023, jump back up, and we've been on a consistent downtrend ever since. So what does that mean for buyers and sellers? For sellers, you can expect a little bit longer market times and less showings. For buyers, a little bit more opportunity and a little more leverage as far as when you can go see the property. There's not that frenzy that we have seen in the past. Certain properties, I just saw one went off the market in one day, but then there's also ones that have been on the market for 100 days. So there is a wide range. Not everything is flying off the shelves right now. So in the newsletter, he says September was the all-time low at 2.9 right down here. But even with the bump we had in October, as we jumped up here, that reading was the second lowest since they started tracking it at 3.3. And now this one, which we've mentioned many times in the past, is the median percent of original list price. How high above list price are homes selling for, or how low below list price are home prices selling for. And we always go back into this time frame back here, a little bit more normalized market. You're getting peaking out about 98%, a little 98%, coming around 98, 99% up in 2017, 2018. When we did see the ramp up in 2021, close to 104%, over 106% in 2022. That was the time that we mentioned in the past. Multiple offers, tons of competition. It was just a little bit of a more frenzied market. As we go into the latter part of this year, you can see it is trending down. We were at 100% a few times this year. October, it dropped down a little bit more. And he says, many of us remember how grueling the end of 2022 was. We definitely aren't that bad, but I would compare this year very closely to 2018, which was no walk in the park for sellers either. So preparing sellers for what's happening in the market and what's potentially going on is super important to set expectations so that when you are thinking about selling and you know, like, what's going on in my neighborhood, we're going to give you the real data. We're going to give you exactly what's happening, and we're going to give you our best estimates on what to expect. But it is a lot different than it was a few years ago. So it says it was no walk in the park for sellers either. The recovery after 2018 can be attributed to a significant decrease in mortgage rates in November and December, and affordability was much better for buyers even before rates fell. So counting on that again, given the trend line in rates, seems risky. So now let's jump into his 3, his 6, and his 12-month feelings on what he is expecting for the real estate market right here in San Diego. So the 3-month outlook, January 2024, we'll see the usual sluggish market during the fall and winter, which we're in right now, typical. New listings will continue to dry up in November and December, once again, typical. So inventory levels will continue its usual seasonal decline going into the later part of the year. Values will fall another 3% from where they were in September. Buying activity will pick up again in mid to late January, but whether that activity will be enough to drive prices higher again is a big question mark in my mind now. And one of the biggest question marks right now that I think is going to potentially bring buyers back out is interest rates. If they do drop down towards that 6% mark again, I would assume more buyers will come to the market. If they stay where they are currently, around 7%, I think it will still be a slow market at the beginning of the year. So here's the 6-month outlook going into April 2024. My conservative bent tends to think we'll see negative year-over-year price growth by April or May. I know this is not a popular opinion and I could be wrong. With rates jacking back up, like I just said, over 7% as of recording this, and many reasons to think they can go higher still. I think there is more downside risk than upside, hence my stance, but I could be wrong. I think certain pockets will do just fine and others won't. I'm more bullish on higher end homes in the right areas after the Trump victory, as these buyers now have more confidence in their wealth growth and protection, and they are less rate sensitive. So when you get into the higher end markets, obviously they could still potentially be getting loans, but they're not as rate sensitive as like first time buyers going out there or move up buyers who do need a budget when purchasing the next home. So he's seen a little bit of a drop going into May. In the 12-month outlook, October 2025, inventory will be higher and we will see a year-over-year decline in values. Now, are we going to see a big decline in values? Are we going to see a small decline in values? That is the question. And as he said in here, he can be wrong too. That's why it's so important to know what's happening in the market right now to keep up with the market and the current trends, where we're going, what we are seeing right now, especially if you're thinking about selling your home. Doesn't really necessarily matter what's going to happen in 12 months. If you're thinking about putting your home on in May because you want to get your home sold, you want to find a new home in the summer so your kids can get into the school. That's usually why people are moving. They have a reason to move. They're relocating out of state, whatever the case may be. But if you guys are thinking about making a move and want to have a conversation about your specific situation, you got to reach out. So all of our contact info is in the first link of the description right below. You can reach out. We'll start that conversation. We'll hop on a Zoom call and just figure out how we can best help you. So as always, I'm Chris Erickson. We're part of a real estate crew right here in San Diego, and we got your back when making the move here in San Diego.